Run when the rhythm's right. Go into the night. Throw until you're out of sight and you're out of my mind. Run when the rhythm's right. Go into the night. Floating as the river flows, easy as it goes to the ocean. So walk on by, I've got no reason to love you, but I do, I do, I do. So walk on by, I've got no reason to love you, but I do, I do, I do. Show me colors of the sky, but all I see is gray. You lost me when you lied. Promise me, but you never tried. Secrets in your eye, you go and run, I'll hide. Show me colors of the sky, but all I see is gray. You lost me when you lied. I don't ever wanna be crowned, just another prize. It breaks my heart, heart, breaks my heart, 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 breaks my heart, 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 breaks my heart, 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 breaks my heart. Lost in the midnight blue, shadows of the moon. Here with open arms for you, feeling something so new. Said with me you'd reach the sun, oh but we were so young. Love me till the summer's done, but keep me in your heart, so I hold on. So walk on by, I've got no reason to love you, but I do, I do, I do. So walk on by, I've got no reason to love you, but I do, I do, I do. Show me colors of the sky, but all I see is gray. You lost me when you lied. Promise me, but you never tried. Secrets in your eye, you go and run, I'll hide. Show me colors of the sky, but all I see is gray. You lost me when you lied. I don't ever wanna be crowned, just another prize. It breaks my heart. Colors of the sky, breaks my heart. All I see is colors of the sky, but all I see is colors of the sky, but colors of the sky, but all I see is colors of the sky, but all I see is colors of the sky, but colors of the sky, but all I see is colors of the sky, but all I see is colors of the sky, but all I see is Shook me to the ground now, and somehow I feel like you don't know me. Shook me to the ground now, I don't even know how. Brought me to a life that you never showed me. Coming from a locked up ghost of yourself, but you're coming from the light. There's more to you than you ever thought there was. Yeah, you're coming from the light.
All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome. My name is Resorty, and to you, one and all, I say, hello, friends. How's it going? Welcome. Glad to have you here with me on this lovely Wednesday morning here, I suppose. Is that right? Wednesday? Nope. Tuesday morning here, I suppose. I tried to live even more in the future than previously, and no, only Tuesday here, probably Monday where you are. Hope your week has gotten started right. Hope things are going okay for you. I know that for many families, Tuesday night is Taco Tuesday. I don't know if there's any special Monday dinners, maybe Macaroni Monday, whichever way. Hopefully your dinner is good / will be good / was good. And thanks for being here, really. Bad Beat Bill, thanks for dropping in and telling me I don't know how to work YouTube. Absolutely true. Last 2 or 3 days I've gone live with the wrong game title on YouTube. I understand how to run Twitch still. YouTube though, very confusing. Very confusing. I assume that if I were native to YouTube, it would make a lot of sense, and the Twitch side would make no sense. But we will fix it, we will improve it, and see how that can go. Again, Babby Bill, thank you for noticing first, and giving me a little heads up that things weren't quite right over in YouTube, Bill. Hello to you, Hip People Guy. Tomorrow you head home, I think, HBG. Hope that trip goes well. Good seeing you. Axix, hello friend. How's it going, Jim? Welcome. Hello, Cortraption. Hello, Cyber Oracle. Hello, Dory. Hello, Marks. Hello, everybody. It is very good to be here with you all. I apologize for getting started a little bit late today, about 15, 20, 30 minutes late, because we had an interesting conversation over on Discord about horror in different media, and how there are horror books and horror movies and horror video games. And someone raised the question of horror music, and I got thinking, I don't really know what I would think of as horror music exactly. And I was thinking, okay, well, Rob Zombie, the word zombie seems horrifying. I don't know that music at all, though. And I mentioned, there's atonal music, polytonal music, Night on Bald Mountain, Mussorgsky's pieces, etc. I was thinking, they seem kind of horrifying in their own way. And so I unintentionally spent like 20, 25 minutes listening to music and said, oh gosh, I was supposed to be showering about 15 minutes ago. So yeah, a little behind time, but for a good reason, right? For a good reason. Is it possible that Taylor Swift is horror music? I mean, there's something horrifying about the devotion, for sure. Yeah, man, a number of my students who will, be able to regale me with lots of facts about Taylor Swift is absolutely amazing. I'm sure this is very much like what Beatlemania felt like back in the day. I don't know if Swift's doing exactly like a new kind of music or popularizing a new kind of music, but she is definitely catching the imagination of a tremendous swath of young people. And I'm not going to say, kids these days or anything. I just don't know much about what impels someone to care quite that much. She's a queen. Do we guys say Yaz Queen, Slay Queen? Or is that becoming old hat now? I assume if it comes out of my mouth easily, it is clearly old hats all the way. HPG, tonight you're going to a teppanyaki place, flying home tomorrow. Hey, hopefully you enjoy your tasty Japanese food. Hope it's very, very good indeed. Hello to Maxwell, welcome back. Maybe Slipknot as a possible horror music. Yeah, the only Slipknot music I know at all is in a mashup with Justin Bieber called Psychosocial Baby. So I don't know the name of either of the two songs that are mashed up, but it's one of the strangest mashups in all of time because the genres are so unbelievably separate. And if you've never heard this piece, I can't play it on stream. It's sure to get things muted, etc. But it is clever as all get out because there are very few groups that are that far apart, and it overlaps in a really interesting way. But I don't really know Slipknot at all, unfortunately. Same with Marilyn Manson and Rob Zombie. I understand how they're horrifying in some way. Like, the stage presence is, is pretty extreme. Well, back in the day, there was Gwar also. But is this horror music? I mean, I think all of what we're mentioning is still tonal, so it's a certain kind of comfort in the melody of the tune. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about most of all, is like the anticipation and resolution that happens in ordinary melodic music, which I think in some kind of music you don't get, and that makes you feel very, very unsettled all the way through. I don't know exactly. Hello, Chaswick! How's it going today? Inuits? Hello, everybody. If I missed you, I apologize. I think I got everyone's hello, but welcome, welcome, welcome. So, today, friends, you're gonna have a special opportunity. An opportunity to play my favorite game and yours. What would you do if you were the teacher? Oh, it's a fun game. Oh, we love this game. We'll get to that in just a moment, but boy, howdy, do I have a good one for you today. A one even better than what happens if a student submits a fully plagiarized essay about aviation law. Definitely not what I teach. So, we'll come to that in just a moment. Are you voting? I don't know. I don't think we need voting per se. I just like some ideas. I mean, I know what I want to do. My answer I'm probably sticking with, but I just want to know what your sense is of what we should do. That comes in a minute. As far as the daily resorty check-in on how things are going in here, last night I went to bed at 7:30 p.m. and got up at 7:30 a.m. That is how things are going right now. It is getting cold here. It is getting cold. It is getting dark. The standard line here in Japan, which feeds into a kind of like Japanese nationalism, frankly, is Japan is the only nation on Earth that has 4 real seasons. And some of my students will insist that is true. Will say that is true, which seems ridiculous, of course. But this year, it feels like we jumped straight from summer into winter. And I mean, autumn is still happening and the leaves are falling, but it just feels very, very, very cold and dark already. So much so that, to be honest with you, up till about 10 seconds before I started talking, I had this little affair right here wrapped around my shoulders like a Russian grandmother. Like, do you have any borscht, sir? Any borscht? Like, we refer to this as my baby blanket because for the majority of the winter, I drag it around with me just trying to stay warm. So... Yeah, yep. I love my blanket very much. It keeps me, keeps me nice and comfortable, and that's good. Cyber Oracle. Whose emote is that? Wait, Darko Comfy. See, that emote looks like what I look like, with it wrapped over my head. It's very nice. Have I tried the Happy Lamp thing? Yeah, if you mean the ones that, like, give you vitamin D and, like, mimic natural sunlight, yes. Unfortunately, I've been trying them on and off since... I don't know, 2009, 2010, they just don't work terribly well for me. And yeah, I wish they did, because it would be so cool to get that light and get happy, but so far, no luck at all, unfortunately. Danny Boy used a few nice cardigans. I do have one nice blue cardigan. It is what I wear to teach every single day throughout the end of the term, because it's just cold in the classrooms, and I mean, that said, there's some stores here that have 2 temperatures, either middle of summer freezing air conditioner or middle of winter burning hot. Because the average Japanese person has fewer layers of what's the word for it, personal insulation, sure, they're much more responsive to temperature change in the way that I'm just not. So I'm relatively comfortable. Even today outside, it'll be a little cool, but not freezing cold. And so I'm fine wearing, a short sleeve shirt. My neighbors are not, for sure. Unfortunately. Pepper, you never found the happy lights to work for you also. Yeah, it's unfortunate. This is one of those, there is no one-size-fits-all solution to most medical issues, including mental health stuff, and gosh, it'd be great if they just have, like, the perfect pill, the fix-everything panacea pill, but it's not to be, unfortunately. Hello, Wirespeed, how's it going? Good seeing you. Maxwell, you're saying there's a legal case about lawyers using AI to write their legal filings. Yeah, Maxwell. So I remember following that one, because on the one hand, one thinks, what an idiot, right? An attorney who would turn in something produced by beep boop robots, beep boop language machines, should be disbarred. What a fool. But if you look a little more closely, he had just been kind of, snookered by advertising, because he believed that what this kind of system could do was equivalent to the work of the paralegal. He'd been told that this is the kind of use case we're hoping to have for things like ChatGPT. And so he thought he could just type in, like, hey, write me a brief on whatever, and get a true and real response. And, yeah, I mean, on the one hand, you want to say, oh, what an idiot. But I think lots of people have the sense of the marketing of, frankly, the word AI being used here makes something much, much better than what it actually is. And so, I don't know. I feel bad for the guy, honestly. And you know, reading the transcript from his disciplinary hearing, assuming he was being honest, I understand how he was fooled. He believed that what ChatGPT does is gives you accurate information about the world. And instead, in his case, it made up case law and made citations to non-existent cases. And again, you want to say you idiot, you fool, but for a person who has a smaller law firm where it's expensive paying for someone's time to do the research for you, how cool is that? How cool is it that you can imagine the AI saving you some time and effort? But at the same time, what fools, what fools. I had two other things for you before teacher time, but I think I've forgotten what they are right now. Oh, here's one of them. There may be no stream / a late stream on my Thursday. So American Wednesday, my Thursday, because the meds are not working quite right, and my psychiatrist has decided maybe there's something physically wrong with my other systems, not just the beep boop brain parts. And so he's invited me to come in for a blood test. Now, fine, whatever. I have no problems with blood. All cool, all cool. What I have a problem with, though, is the clinic that I go to is in one of the most busy parts of Tokyo. I have intentionally never, ever, ever taken the public transit subway during the busiest part of the day. So my appointment is at 9:30 a.m. It is just slightly after the busiest part of the day on the subway, but oh, buddy, it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough. And so I asked, is it possible to get later in the day? And unfortunately, this particular clinic has a nurse, a phlebotomist, on duty only limited hours. And so it either need to be at 9 o'clock in the morning or during times I teach on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And so I feel like very bad canceling a class for selfish reasons like medicine. So yeah, Thursday stream will either start very late or we'll need to miss it entirely for medical reasons. So just FYI, and Friday I'll surely come back with stories about just how busy the train stations get. Because you heard me yesterday offering you a tale of woe and despair about how busy some of these places were and are. But that was during the off hours. We'll see. We'll try to go extra early so I can prevent the hassle. So Abernathy, the Tokyo rush hour begins very, very early in the day. Now the high point of busyness is between, I think, like 7:30 and 9 is when things get a little bit crazy. But yeah, I'd probably have to go in at like 5 a.m., 5:30 a.m. There is a what's it called? A Starbucks across the street from my clinic, so I could stop there, I suppose, and like just get a table and refuse to leave. I think there are signs that say, please don't stay here for more than 1 hour. Also, something delightful to me is a good friend Cyber Oracle didn't work too far away from this place. And so as I'm telling the story, I'm like, oh, I wonder if Cyber Oracle had a drink there at one point. I wonder if Cyber Oracle has had coffee where I'll be having coffee. We'll see, though. So just so you know, maybe no stream on Thursday. I promise, though, tomorrow will be very good. Tomorrow will be great. And yeah, that's some good stuff. All right, so here is the if you were a teacher, what would you do? If you're a teacher, what would you do? It goes this way. I have a student in one of my classes who is a what's the word for it? An intelligent but distractible student. He is not diligent in any sense of the word. He is, I will do what's required, and that is that. I don't know how he spends his other hours. I like him quite a much. Yes, I like him very, very much as a person, not so much as a student for the reasons already articulated. Okay. A couple days ago, this student came to me and said, Professor Risordi, I have a problem. And I said, cool, how can I help you out? I didn't say cool, can you imagine? I have a problem. Cool, neato. No, I said, oh no, or something somewhat affirming and appropriate to the situation. But how can I help you? And the student said, I have lost my notebook for your class. The notebook which I record everything that happens in the classroom. I'm having memory problems right now, and so I can't reconstruct it myself. I said, okay, that's genuinely an awful thing. We have an exam on Friday. The concepts discussed throughout the class since the beginning of the course are ones that will matter for the exam and for your knowledge of the course and everything that comes forward, of course. And so I said, okay, the standard advice here for anyone who misses a class day is go talk to your friends. Go talk to your friends in the class, use their notes, talk with them, think with them, and rebuild as you can. And the student replies, I have no friends. Okay, unfortunate. And so I say instead, friends is a big word. Is there anyone in the classroom who you feel comfortable talking to about your situation? Anyone that you can get some help from? And he says, well, Professor Risordi, you are a person I feel comfortable talking to. And I say, oh no. I said, would you do it for me? Would you go talk to somebody else in the classroom? He said, no, I would not feel comfortable talking to any of my classmates about this. And so what he has asked is for us to get together and for me to recite my lectures to him. I have told him no. I am unwilling to do that. I don't have the time for it. I don't have the energy for it. I honestly don't recall everything I say. Like, for every class period I have, here are the 3 big things I want to get across. And then I just kind of like put things together to make those 3 big things come across. Usually my lectures are on the walk to campus. I tend to imagine what do I need to say, and then I come in and dump it out. And that is that. So he said, so I told him roughly the story. And he said, okay, well, there are 3 big things for every class. Can you just tell me those? And that's where I'm stuck right now. Because on the one hand, I have not distilled down my material for anyone else. I've never said, like, here are the 3 big things that you need to know. I do put some outline on the board before class starts. The outline tends to be a list of questions. And the answer to those questions tends to be something in the neighborhood of the big ideas, whatever they are. So I'm thinking I could just give him the outline questions and then ask him to do the work of remembering how to fill them in or looking up how to fill them in. But he says he's having memory problems. And I'm kind of just at a loss. Because on the one hand, I don't want to say, because you lost your notebook, you now get to fail my class. But on the other hand, I don't want to say, I'm willing to recite everything for you. And that's where it is. That's where things are. I'd love to hear your thoughts on what would you do if you were in my position. Because how it goes. All right, I got some questions. Number 1, Jim says, oh, brother man. That's basically how I talk to my students. Yesterday, I referred to a student as brother when he was acting up a little. I said, brother, you're either with me or against me, in the joking way I kind of do. And he said, don't call me brother. That's emasculating. I don't think it is, but fine. You are no longer my brother. Yeah. I mean, isn't there an old lyric about that? You're not my bro. Don't say it. Don't you pretend that you're my bro. Something like that. Yeah, it's about that. Love it. Point to the relevant chapters in the reading list. Yeah. I mean, on the one hand, I think that's a good solution. The problem, though, is there's an exam on Friday, and I don't think it's reasonable for I don't think it's reasonable for me to say, go reread everything in the next 3 days. Now, maybe we could do that. But man alive, there's there's some challenges with that for sure. It's just very difficult to tell a student read everything. Now, back in undergrad myself, there were times when I locked myself in my bedroom and did nothing but study for days on end. But that's a big ask. It's a big ask for a student who might have other problems. Okay, some of you said maybe I could do a public call. I could say, students, would you be willing to help someone out who's having some problems? Would you mind like sharing your notes with me, and then I can pass on notes to someone else? I like that idea very much. That's a very nice idea, nice way to approach it. Partially because, the big question in my class is, what is good for us, not just for me? And so hopefully a student would say, for the sake of helping other people, we can sacrifice our notes. Now, the way to incentivize would be, I give you extra credit. But definitely that is not something I'm willing to do, of course, because the path of extra credit is a path of being very confused about final scores, unfortunately. Also suggestion of, where is it? The student's in the pickle. He seems like he's willing to put in more work to find a shortcut than to work his way out of the pickle. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. And it is definitely the case that a lot of students are just trying to see, what do I do to pass the class? What do I do to get my A or even my C, as opposed to, go study, right? There's the old joke. About, and this definitely plays something I'm not comfortable with, so I'm not endorsing this, etc., etc. But the old joke of like, a very seductive undergraduate approaches the professor and says, "Professor, I'm not doing well in your class. I would do anything to get my grade. Anything." And the professor responds, "Oh, you'd do anything. Would you study?" It feels like that's what's happening here, just a slightly different register, of course. So, I don't know. If the exam's on Friday, he doesn't know enough to straight through, other people know it's not going to help him. So I never want to say, I can guarantee that you'd pass, right? I never want to say, do these 5 things and A+ for you. But I want to be helpful at least. And I want to see what I can do that will direct the student down the path of possible improvement? I don't know. If you're a professor, you give different tests so they can't cheat. I mean, so far, I do change my test every single year, every semester even, because I let the students keep the exams at the end of class when they're get their grades back, so they can refer between their answer sheet and the question sheet. This does mean that those are in the water and they can be shared with their friends who are in the class this term. So I do modify the test every single term, all the way. If we get the person an extension, I'm not willing to give them an extension because I think we all have unfortunate situations, right? We all have things that we would rather do or need to do instead of studying for our classes. I just think this person's situation is so over the top terrible that I want to help a little bit. And yeah, those of you saying, like, your professors would have said, "That's your problem, brother," like, you're not wrong. And some part of me says that is the correct answer. Tell the student losing your notebook is the worst thing you can do. It's like not bringing a pencil to class, or, I don't know, plagiarism. Like, it's a horrible, horrible thing as a student. True. I think he would admit that. And so I don't know. I don't know. I began by saying, I know what I think I'm going to do. What are my thoughts? Yeah, the thought I had is kind of what I said along the way, where I'm willing to meet with him and say, here are the discussion topics we took up. These kinds of big questions that are on the board when class starts most days, and like sit and talk with him about how do you respond to that? What do you remember? Because he is in class regularly. And assuming he's telling the truth that he really did take notes and then lost them, a guided conversation should help him, right? Should help him at least pick something up. Now, I hope he knows that I'm not going to just tell him everything he needs to know. It's just too much. I'd have to offer it to everyone. But I don't know. There's some in-between situation. Friends, an ad break is coming in 15 seconds. We're going to talk through this one and then play a video game on the other side there. What would my wife do? What would Noms do? So honestly, I haven't asked her. She is so unbelievably busy right now that I don't want to cause any further problems for her. I don't want to make her worry about this and that. But yeah, what would Noms do is definitely the way to go. Yeah, Fernanthus, we started with the can you get some notes from a classmate? And he said he's afraid of them. And like, I'm not a psychiatrist, I'm not a therapist, I'm just some guy. But part of me wants to say, that is the problem. I need you to get over the fear and go talk to these people. And I could just say, you have to do this, I will not help you. But I don't know. I've had mental health problems at various points. Some people have been very kind and generous to me. I want to repay that by being kind and generous too. Blah, 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 morality, you accursed beast. I don't know. You had it both ways. The teachers that show compassion usually get better results out of the student. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, absolutely. The way in which I interact with students is what's worked for me. I've considered next term maybe becoming like a hard teacher that's very mean and just see what happens. see if people will still sign up for my course if I if I'm absolutely like, you must give me 500 words once a day on the topic. I don't know. Is there a textbook and use a general guide? So there's not a textbook in this class. There are readings. The majority of the readings are under 5 pages, double-spaced in Word. Many of them are excerpted down, versions of very, very, very long essays that have been rewritten with annotations that I have prepared for them to help them understand the readings. This is a tremendous, tremendous pile of work. And so I think he should be able to approach the text. Again, there's just a lot of text. Also, the question earlier about recording the lectures. I've mentioned before, I intentionally don't do that because I don't want the students to feel restricted. Especially the native Japanese students are already so nervous about people in the classroom hearing their answers and saying, no, bad, you're wrong, you don't fit anymore, you don't belong, go be shunned in the corner. That if I tell them, or if they're aware that their words will be recorded and possibly disseminable, able to be disseminated, then they might lock down even more. So no, I intentionally don't record lectures. I do occasionally record, here's a cute little note about this and that, with this green screen right here. And so I stand here and say not, hello friends, I'm Resorty, but instead, hello friends, I'm real name here. And then give mini lectures on whatever. So, last week, for instance, a lot of students were talking about how humans are calculating and rational at all times, and people are always looking for the advantage over others. For example, see the history of barter. And so I did a little mini lecture on a Great Atlantic article on the topic of barter never existed. There is no such thing as barter until people get cash money and then say, how do we exchange with no cash money? Oh, we directly exchange things, 5 chickens for 2 horses or whatever. And so I give little lectures like that. There's like, here's an interesting idea. And if we don't think barter existed, if there's no good evidence it ever existing, what does that undermine as far as it's like calculating, trying to get the better advantage? Anthropologists say instead there were gift economies, situations in which people said like, hey buddy, you pay for the beers this time, I'll get you next time. It's kind of inexact trading based on friendship, etc. And so, I try to do that kind of little thing, but I'm unwilling to record anything that involves other students' ideas or like their own voice for fear of them becoming uncomfortable. And that's kind of a central commitment I have as one of the students to feel free to share their ideas without substantial retribution or the fear of the same. But all right, a lot of you said maybe we can ask the other students for notebooks. I think is what I'm gonna do. I think I'll take your suggestions and my suggestions and see what happens. It seems that many of you are coalescing around the idea of ask the class for a notebook. And I have a good idea that would make that feel even better. I think I'm going to ask the other class. Because I don't want, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't care. But I have 2 sections of roughly the same material. And they get more or less the same lectures and discussions every day. The second class gets slightly better ones because they are, they get it second. And so I know which jokes work and which jokes don't work. That's why the later stream, the second one I do a couple hours later, after you all are done here, gets all the very best jokes about Crusader Kings too. Don't worry, there is no second stream. Ha 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 jokes. Yeah, I think I'm gonna ask the other class, and that way, almost certainly the people who are giving the notebook and the person receiving the notebook won't be aware of each other. That's like a fairer way and a better way to avoid some conflict. And then, after he's gotten the notebooks, there's only so much time before Friday, I guess, but I guess I'll offer that Wednesday afternoon and Thursday afternoon I can meet with him and work through, again, the kind of course questions in relation to what he's read already and see what we can do to connect them. I think that seems like a fairly good, somewhat neutral resolution. A week's enough time to study and take the test. So the problem is, I live in the future, right? I live in the future. And so today is Tuesday. The earliest I can ask my students for the notebooks is Wednesday. I guess I could email out, but it feels less personal. So I could do Wednesday. And presumably I would get the notebook Wednesday afternoon, etc. And then, I don't know, give it to him Wednesday, meet on Thursday, test on Friday. That feels incredibly fast, but better that than you just don't get material at all. Shame on you for losing your notebook. I think I'll try that. Thank you for the suggestions. Thank you for the conversation. It really does help. The idea to ask for notebooks came out of your conversation, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. I like the idea. I like the idea, Fernandez, of having someone's assignment each day to be typed up in notes, so there's collected notes for everybody. That's a very clever idea. The only issue is what happens when it's a student's turn who is very, very bad at, very, very bad at taking notes. Do we all then say, shame on your bad notes? Yeah. So I'd feel a desire to go in and modify the notebook to make it somewhat better. I think the difference you're pointing out here is in grad school, everyone is of the ability level to take strong notes of a class. Undergraduate level, non-native language, I'm not sure. Hello, Dad, how's it going? Channel my inner professor from high school. Oh, good God. Yeah, I've not told this story in a while. I took an English class in high school, and man, I was doing so poorly as a student. I was a really, really bad student in high school, but I was trying. I was really, really trying in this English class, and I wanted to pass. And there was a big end of term essay, and I wrote a pretty decent essay. And the professor failed it out of hand because I'd used the wrong citation style and had made it single space. So yeah, definitely on me for not reading the instructions carefully. But the professor refused, not professor, the teacher, the high school teacher, refused to say like, hey, I'll mark off some points for not using the correct citation style. Hey, I'll mark off some points for single space into double space. He said, you get an F, you get a 0, it's as if you didn't turn it in. And I think my father went in and talked to him and said like, why are you doing this, right? Why is this the reaction to someone who is trying at least? I shouldn't say the guy's name, but the high school teacher insisted, this is what happens in college. If you don't follow the most basic rules, they will give you nothing. And now that I'm a professor, this is just not true. So I know of literally no one that I've ever taught with who is that immediately aggressive to students. If nothing else, I can imagine saying, and I have said this, the reason I ask you for double spacing is because I have old man eyes, and it's very, very hard for me to read single spacing, and with double spacing, I have more space to write. So this is why I ask for double space. There's a reason behind it. So if a student turns in a paper, and I see single space, I say, you clearly have written here. You clearly have ideas here. Please just resubmit this thing double space. It's fine. I'm not going to grade all of them by next class period. So, yeah, it was crazy. I do worry that occasionally the high school teachers scare students so much, right? That in college they're gonna hate you and try to harm you. Like, oh, that's not true. It's not true. There are people who are surely sticklers for rules, but I can't imagine. You get a paper someone spent 8 hours on, and wrong citation, into the garbage can. See you next year. So, yep. Hey, history teacher Steve. As a high school teacher, that's definitely a horrible grading policy. Yeah, my sense is this teacher, I mean, was relatively old. And old school in a kind of, I don't know, abusive way. Like, he enjoyed throwing around his weight. And for a high school teacher especially, I don't get that. I think as a high school teacher, you're beginning to see students figure stuff out, find their social positioning. It's already a very hard time for a lot of youngsters, right? High school is brutal at times, especially if you don't obviously fit into some social category, or if you feel lonely, like you don't belong. And to pile onto that, like this, I don't know, short-sighted, small-minded account of what is good work just feels really bad. I should write him a letter. If he's still alive. And I should sign it, doctor my real name here, and say, you told me it was this way in college, and now it's not. It never has been. And every single time a student sends in the wrong paper, I tell them this story. I shame you from far away. Hey, Mark, your wife had a college professor that failed everyone in the class because the teacher failed to give good directions. Oh my goodness. Well, I will tell the students that next time, and hope that they'll recognize that I'm trying very hard to be merciful. Yeah, you tell them, Resorty. I don't think it would solve anything. Like, I think I would feel good writing the guy a letter saying, look, you harmed little 17-year-old me. Shame on you, sir. But it was, a very long time ago, and I doubt he would care. But who knows? Some teachers use the position as a means to project insecurities. Yeah. Of course. There's a line that went around in graduate school that never before have so many very smart people cared so much about something that ultimately means so very little. Like department politics, this one paper. People, live and die with their beliefs about matters that don't really matter at all. And I'm sure I'm that way also. I'm sure that occasionally I lose sight of my insignificance, but it is very, very sad. It's very, very sad. Hey, pretty pictures, good seeing you. Maybe he'd send back the Thanos meme, I don't even know who you are. If this teacher used a meme towards me, I would be delighted. Because at least it would be a human connection, right? If it's the M. Bison line, what's that M. Bison line from the Street Fighter movie? To you, the day that I came and destroyed your village and killed your father was the most important day of your life. To me, it was Tuesday. Oh, it's a very cheesy movie, but man, there's some good lines. Who played M. Bison? It's Raul Julia, I think. Definitely a better actor than that role, and that film deserved. But yeah, I think that's where it comes from. It's an M. Bison speech in the Street Fighter movie, which I did watch when I was a youngster because I loved Street Fighter so much. It was one of the few arcade machines at a local video store. The little video store was called like Family Video or something. It was an independent shop, and we went there because it was relatively cheap and close by, and I enjoyed many a family movie night in my youth. It was good stuff. All right, I believe that's all the stories. Thank you for thinking with me. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. Despite this place being called Family Video, they definitely had a no-no corner with a bright sign saying "No kids allowed," and a curtain that said "You don't pass here," but family nonetheless. Don't you worry. Hey, Gillius, your dad had an elementary teacher who made fun of his name. Oh wow. Yeah, the ways in which the thoughtless kind of things that people in authority say that really are remembered, right? This kind of throwaway remark, this kind of idea that, just a dumb little comment can really affect people long term. I try to remember that. So honestly, a week or so back, I did something kind of stupid, and I shouldn't have done it. I wrote an apology letter afterwards because I thought I was being clever and edgy in a way that would be useful for the classroom, and it just wasn't. So Marx makes this claim that the majority of culture today is to help the majority of people become machines for the workforce. And all my students said, oh, this isn't true. I'm my own person. I choose freely what to do. Right? It's kind of like super empowered, independent story. And I was like, you sure? You sure? Aren't there a lot of situations where you follow fairly strict rules and you do what the authority tells you? And like, well, I guess the police, but I never break the law. And so, et cetera, et cetera. And so then this like really sweet student, and this is the problem, this really sweet student who is always so unbelievably shy, started giving an answer about something that wasn't exactly relevant. And I should have recognized which student was speaking, but instead I went, I don't care. Somebody else tell me what's what. Now, I never speak to students this way. The point I was trying to make is, look, you tolerate nonsense from me. When you want to talk, you have to go, Professor Risordi, notice me, please. Please stop talking, Professor Risordi. And my sweet little student's eyes got so wide because she did not understand why I had been profoundly rude to her. And even when I discussed it, revealed what had happened, she still looked so overwhelmingly sad and confused. And I said, Risordi, you idiot. So in the moment, I turned to her and I apologized. I said, I recognize this does not make up for the problem. I shouldn't have done that. I will write you later. And so I did, right? I went back to my office afterwards, wrote a nice long message saying, here's what I was trying to do. I shouldn't have done that. Here's what I was thinking. It didn't work. Stupid me. I apologize. The next day she wrote back saying, I was confused in the moment. Now that I see what you're trying to do, it's totally cool. We're fine, etc. We talked the next day and things were good. She's back to responding in class, etc. But man, that was a stupid moment. And I hope for her what she saw was authority figures screw up. And there's a way in which one can recover from it through vulnerability and apology and so on. But rarely do I make classroom errors like that. I'm usually much more thoughtful about why am I saying what I'm saying? Is this the right time to say that thing and do that thing? But I think I was annoyed with the other students for like not being able to see the way in which the very situation we were in is an example of this kind of just follow the rules, beep boop, beep boop, beep boop. And I took my annoyance at them and directed it towards her, like not intentionally, of course, but it was pretty bad. Definitely pretty bad. And there you go. I stand before you, a humbled man who needs to do better, of course. So there you go. If you ever think you're a worse person than me, it's not true. I just don't tell the bad stories on stream usually. Hey, Dante, how's it going? In your early teens in high school, a teacher made you stand in front of the whole class, went through everything wrong about your appearance. Oh, man. Yeah. I always wonder, do these teachers think they're helping? Right? Do these teachers believe that, when they... I mean, the word is embarrass, right? When they shame and call out a student, they think they're saying, because I've spoken ill of this person's appearance, they'll take responsibility and come in like the supermodel they could be the next day. Because I can't think of any other, internal justification that makes sense. It isn't just incredibly mean, right? It's a moment that is not just, they're bullying this child. So, Tante, I'm sorry it happened to you, of course. I don't know. And we can never assume that people in authority are always thoughtful and good. It's just kind of mean, of course. Hello, Canute. How's it going, my friend? All you came in. Thanks for being here, Ellisadil, etc. It's a lovely day. Let's play some video games. Should we play some video games? That sounds like a fun idea for me. You'll be aware that yesterday we began a new Crusader Kings 3 playthrough. Today, let's begin a new Crusader Kings 3 playthrough. So toward the end of the stream yesterday, I made a terrible, terrible mistake, a terrible, terrible error. It was the kind of mistake I don't normally make while playing Paradox games, but I almost never play as a subordinate character inside of someone else's kingdom. I almost never accept having a liege long term. For this playthrough, we need to do so. But what happened yesterday is inside my little think thought machine, I said, oh, they're my liege. They're stronger than I am. When someone attacks my territory, I can let them do all the dirty work. They were weaker than I am, and so I just kind of ignored the war until it was somewhat like out of hand, and I could not recover from it. Had I just gone and assisted my liege, it would have been totally fine, but these things happen. Oh, I have one more story. This is the last story I forgot. One more topic real quick, folks. As many of you know, I am beginning to work on creating a series of reviews over on Steam. I would like to be seen as a Steam curator, not because it gets me anything of value or interest, just because it's a way in which I have a place to write down my thoughts on various video games. I'm really enjoying it. I'm really, really enjoying it. Now, apparently it is the case that some developers will pay curators money to write reviews. Interesting. But with that said, I've been looking through my list of games to review, and 'cause I need to do 10 of them. I've done 4 so far. I need to do 10 of them to begin my curatorship. And I'm very proud of the 4 I've written so far. I think they're good stuff. So looking at my list of things to review, the easy way to go is to go through and review all of the DLCs for Crusader Kings, because each of them is counted as an independent game, and there'll be easy reviews. Here are the things that are changed. I like this. I am having fun. DLCs are expensive, but they're worth the money, blah, 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 yay paradox. But then I said, okay, what exactly what exactly would be useful? Because I think the DLC reviews are interesting, but they're just too small to have substantial thoughts. And so I went ahead and ordered my Steam games by most played to least played. Assuming that the most played game is the one that I have the best and most refined things to say. And there at the top was a little game called RimWorld. And so, after about 2,000 hours of playing RimWorld, I have begun to write a review of RimWorld. And it is so unbelievably difficult because, like, honestly, it is like, let me write a review of my marriage. Okay, where do we start? I know generally what I want to say. Like, the tagline for the review is going to be, many people ask me what game they should play. And for many people, I try to get an understanding of what kind of game do you like? Oh, maybe you're going to try this or that. RimWorld is the only game that I will recommend to literally anyone who asks. Because I think it is just that good, and there's so many ways to go that'll help a person find maybe what they're looking for. If you want a very challenging experience, man, you could find it. If you want a very easy experience, you put the game on base builder and no one will ever attack you. If you like stories, if you're interested in seeing the rise and fall of your best efforts, that's the game for you. So that's the sort of tagline, big start. But I worry that I'm going to come off as like, in some ways, like overly effusively, in favor of this thing. And that's too bad. That's too bad. The big issue is this. On Steam reviews, one has 3 choices. You can have a recommend, you can have a don't recommend, and you can have an informational. Informationals tend to be used as like, Metacritic says this game is an 86. Game Informer says a 6 out of 10. That kind of thing. Where simple yes or no is a kind of unsubtlety, I suppose. Unsubtlety that one I don't know, at a quick glance, it's very hard to tell what one thought, because the 10 out of 10 recommend is immediately piled in with the 6 out of 10 recommend. And that's just how these things go. I wonder if at one point Steam had more fine-grained consideration. If Steam had a way for the player to see and say, this is a 6 overall, but not really, unfortunately. Hey, thanks for the follow, Tiger2 Rus. We'll definitely get to a game very soon here. I promise. You can trust me. The problem with reviewing RimWorld, you have to account for all the mods. No, I use one mod, and it's just called Prepare Carefully. And that one mod is entirely based on setting up playthroughs I want to do without having to endlessly re-roll to get the right characters for it. But other than that, I don't use mods. And so I'll probably start up by saying, like, this is a review of the vanilla game. It's a review of Unchanged. There are many, many, many ways you can modify it to give you what you want, but I'm talking about the base thing. So that is the current project, writing a review of the game that I've given more of my life to than any other, except for that one we don't discuss. Luckily, there's no way to review that game on Steam, so I don't know what kind of review I would give of that game. World of Warcraft stole my life from me. I was barely a person. I've gotten clean. Please support me in my attempt to stay that way. I don't know. All right, Flens. That's right, Flens. Flens, let's go ahead and play a video game. Would that be a good time? I think it would. Why on earth is my CK3 absolutely locked into we are playing the hastening playthrough forever? Why is this? Every time I load the game, it says, remember that one time you played as Brittany approximately 6 months ago? Let's not forget that. Gotta verify the cache. We've definitely verified the cache before since this bug started. And it's just weird. Like, I don't mind that much. It was a very fun playthrough. But why is it just permanently here? So, maybe I gotta verify the cache once a day, perhaps. Alright, friends. Yesterday we tried the Rostam playthrough because he is a secret Zoroastrian. He claims to be Islamic, but deep in his heart, he is all about Zoroastrianism, a religion I know very little about, except for Nietzsche wrote a little book called Thus Spake Zarathustra, which imagines what the founder of Zoroastrianism would say about the contemporary world. And it's a very strange little book. It's a very strange recording of the challenges we can have from a life-affirming philosophy, religious tradition, in the response to what Nietzsche considers to be a sort of deadening tradition which is present in Western Europe at his time. That's basically all I know, but I'd love to see if we can get a Zoroastrian playthrough up and going in response to the many, many Islamic folks around. That said, yesterday it collapsed, today it will not. We're in Iron Man mode, so we get our achievements. We're going for a variety of achievements this playthrough. I've not yet written them down, so the exclamation goal command still says we're playing City Skylines. I'll try to get those changed by tomorrow, assuming we survive through today's playthrough. So fingers crossed, here we go. Yesterday we saved to the cloud. I'll do the same thing today. Hopefully that works. And the game remembers we're playing down in Persia land. We'll see. I'm probably going to make many of the same starting moves I made yesterday, because I think we were set up for a very, very good playthrough until I made a bad decision. So good decisions all the way through, I promise. All right, a couple quick things. Number uno. This character begins with an amazing piece of regalia. I love it when characters have one special item to use at the very beginning of the playthrough, because it makes the character feel unique and important and look at that solid +2 knights. So as a minor count, we have access to immediately 2 bonus knights. So 7 knights in total, very strong early game. I love it. Oh, speaking of early game, yesterday's raid, oh my goodness. Yesterday's raid, my friends. as you know, I always try to raid a smaller / newer player to try to help them get started. I always try to raid someone who, you know, we can bring energy to, who has very, very few viewers, and they go, holy cow, 100 viewers, 200 viewers, this is, resorting, which is fun. But the part that was actually fun yesterday is it was his very first Paradox game ever, and he refused to do the tutorial. And he was probably a couple hours into a playthrough, and the little choose your lifestyle, one of the more important questions for any person in the game, he did not do. And so I said, I don't mean to backseat you, boss, but you might check out this little thing here. You might choose that. And he brought it up and went, okay, so... And I tried to help him. Saying, that's asking, what do you want to be when you grow up? Like, what kind of character do you want to play as? And he said, oh, what do I want to be when I grow up? I already have a job. My job is, and told about his real personality. And at this point I said, well, I gotta go teach. Good luck. So I really hope he figured it out. Because I think Paradox games are one that if you're not encouraged, if you're not helped in the right ways, it is so possible to bounce hard off of it. To say, presumably this game is playable, but not by me. And so I'm really, really hopeful that he kept having fun and all the rest. Hey, Nixum, he had a game over soon after I left. He did not play the tutorial the second time either. I mean, you do you, brother man. There are a lot of games that I will not do tutorials in because I have all of you. And so I can say something like, friends, what's this page mean? There must be something here. Could you explain it to me? You know, many of you will type, and help me out. And so I have such a boon in my video game adventures that this guy unfortunately does not have. And so I should probably stop back in again and offer some encouragement and say it really is a great game if you can just get over the initial starting place. Because, I mean, what's the standard example? Like, you pull up the Vassals page. Like, even this is overwhelming. Like, look at all these buttons here. You know, what's a clan? Okay, read that. That's what a clan is. Cool. Crown authority, buttons, Vassal, oh, good God, right? And every new click you do brings up so many pages and situations, and it's just very, very, very strange. With that said, what we want to be when we grow up is martial, because I just need to hold on to our territory all the way through. This is the exact same start as last time. I don't know if this character is locked in on choosing these two Overseer to get started, or if it was randomly the same twice. We need to have more sample size for hope. Yesterday we were reading Mary Wollstonecraft in class. Wollstonecraft is a very early quasi-feminist thinker who argues that life for most women in England in the 1760s is terrible. I had a student raise her hand and say, they had a queen named Elizabeth. Doesn't that mean that life is good for all women? This person must be wrong. Good. All right, so we're choosing pure strategy in order to have maximum martiality. That is very good indeed. We will be going down the gallant tree afterwards, and the reason for that is that we're going to try to get knights to hold on to this thing. Now, you will recall yesterday, we ended up having so very many dead knights, and that's what caused the playthrough to kind of spiral at the very, very end. So Gillan here is independence. Last playthrough we grabbed it right away. I'm probably going to do the same thing in this playthrough. It's a move that I feel very, very good taking, and if we don't, someone else will. That is going to be the big thing. That will also give us the ability to continue the playthrough if the rest of our territory and our liege lord are overtaken. We'll see. Hey, Jin Liar, thanks for the follow. That sounds delicious and beautiful all at once. Other things to do. We have a brother who is not yet married off. It is ya boy Sorkab here. Sorkab Karinzadi Bavandid. He is publicly proclaiming Zoroastrianism. We'll see how it goes. Hey, how's it going, Mindstormy? Welcome, my friend. Thanks for the follow also. Hey, Steve, you recently learned that Mary Wollstonecraft is Mary Shelley's mother. Yes, the writer of Frankenstein was born of Wollstonecraft. And here's the very sad part of that story. Wollstonecraft died 11 days after Shelley was born. The joke we make here is, this is how you knew she would be a horror writer. She killed her mother. So, yep. All right, we'll attack them in a moment. One thing we did yesterday that felt very good for how I was thinking of the playthrough is the very first building we made was to build a seaport here, just trying to get development up as fast as possible and more money too. And I'm not going to do that this time. Instead, I'm going to try to find a building to use instead that will give us both money and troops. So hunting grounds are possible, cattle pastures, that kind of thing. Cool. We'd also very much like to increase our men-at-arms size because they are they larger today? I thought it was 1313 yesterday, but today it's 2313. I never quite know what's random in any playthrough. Anyway, here are the pikemen. Pikemen love mountains, and golly gosh, we have a lovely mountain right there. This is our special quote-unquote building. It is the mountain called Damavand. It's snow-capped, it's beautiful, it's very, very important. Exist, you played this game also. You ended up marrying your sister, daughter, granddaughter, regretted not trying to become Persian. We're trying very hard to become Persian. I think you can be Persian and Zoroastrian together, I think. But you married everyone in the family, like a true Zoroastrian. Well done. Here we're going to set up a archer brigade, and I believe we can build here, maybe not right away, a building that will help with archer attack also. Which is that? Archer's a militia camp. That does not give any money. I was hoping it was the hunting grounds. You can imagine your archers out there shooting stuff and going for the best. You know, we'll see. But yeah, good call on that. We could change this out. Instead of being the bowmen, we can make it into the new special people. The Zupin Spearmen. They are spearmen who counter heavies and various kinds of horse people. Also a bonus in the mountains. Are they cheaper also? Are they cheaper? They're 45. Holy cow. They're cheaper than almost anybody. So yeah, I'm going to junk the archers and move over to the specials instead. Cool. And then we'll station them at this location for now. As I said, I need to marry off our brother. Yesterday we found a very strong marriage. Is it with you? Yeah, Ortrar early game is relatively strong. So weaker than we are, but this will definitely help. It takes them forever to get down here. You are gluttonous and generous and trusting. You are lustful and generous and cynical. Lustful in our family, super useful. So, have a marriage, barely accepting, but that's good enough. Anything else to do before we get started? I think those are the things I care about. We'll get more knights soon. We don't need a physician immediately, so I'm going to hold off just to save more and more money. With that alliance done, friends, we unpaused. It only took us an hour into stream. We unpaused. Hey, Hobbs, thank you for the follow also. The state of nature is terrifying, isn't it? Oh, good call. We could ask for a mountain commander. That will definitely help. It costs only 15 monies to do this, but yeah, this is hugely important. So, my tough people, the Dalemites, can navigate the most treacherous mountain pass. If I want to move and fight in the mountains, which we do, I can call upon a seasoned guide to help my army find its way. Send forth ye the herald! And here is a man named Faramars. Faramars is a very good character as far as martial and stewardship. He is brave and trusting and ambitious, the kind of guy we want for sure. The beloved Faramars, with only a 12 in ability, will probably be our knight commander for quite a while. Should be good. Fresher, thank you very much for the generous Prime sub. First subscription of the day. Very appreciated indeed, my friend. Okay. There's something else I wanted to do before we unpause for real. Possibly attacking Heilong here. They do have a mountainous area and a hilly area. So we meet them on either of these. We'll get a bit of a bonus. We'll see how that all goes. Bring people in via marriages? Probably not. Here's the other thing. What's our wife's stewardship this playthrough? It's 2! It's 2! So, last start it was merely 1. And that is slightly better than last time. Oh dear. Also, last start our steward had a 2 in stewardship. We are so much better than last time. For the moment, our marshal is not a landed character. So I'm going to change out to the new guy with that 15 instead. Awesome. Our spymaster likes us very well, and he's a 7. Our sister-in-law, recently recruited, will you change religions? Guaranteed to do so. She might become a secret Tengri, but now she likes us a little bit more. We're going to put her onto the council instead because she is somewhat stronger. In-Ray Chancellors... Wally Zartost, our steward, no. This is the one thing we're missing right now is the lack of a good chancellor, but we'll get one of those pretty soon. For right now, because she's pretty bad at everything, I'm gonna leave my wife focused on all of the things, and that's okay. All right. The question now is just, do we attack immediately, or do we give it a minute? If we wait for our allies to come down, we can definitely win this. However, I'm going to wait till our spearmen fill up as they just started. Spearmen, whatever you want to call it. A unnormal dog, thank you for your Prime sub also. Very much appreciate it. A new subscriber, very kind of you. The game's unpaused, things are running along. Immediately our father dies. That is how that goes. And immediately we didn't assign a tax collector. This is the new thing in this DLC. We can hire someone to look after our money. This time we have a character of average aptitude, so better than people previously, in particular because his learning skill is quite high. So there you go. We're in a better place than last playthrough. We're going to get 0.09 money, which would mean 0.09502. Why does that not round up to 0.1? 9502. Rounding error breaking my heart. A Hytalian thank you also for the very kind subscription. That's 3 in the past 3 minutes. If we keep that up, we'll have very many subscribers in the stream. Thank you, my friend. What kind of shenanigans are going on? I'm not in debt. The game has literally just started, so I haven't yet had the opportunity to to go in debt. Don't you worry, I'll come very soon. All right, spearmen refilling. How much money is it to raise a second group inside of this? So if we go for number 3 here, it costs 67 money. All we have right now. Only 45 here. Though I want more and more troops, I need to keep the money coming in so we can build up our economy a little bit. And if we want to, you can go to a grand tournament. Where do you live? You're missing an eye and you look very, very unpleasant. You also want to get rid of the caliphate, as do we. That's correct, right? Yeah, as do we. We want to get rid of the caliphate. So where do you live? Herat. Where is Herat, please? Oh, it's kind of far away. I prefer not to do that right now. So I'm going to ignore your tournament, but thank you for the invitation. Next time we'll go to medieval times, dinner and tournament for sure. All right. What does it cost to build any building? 100 is the cheap size. Also, there's the opportunity for ducal building here, but that is well in the future on technology. Over this way, we have one open slot also. It's already focused on making monies in our capital. As usual in the capital, probably worth going ahead and building the hill forts, just to have access to better defense long term and some bonus strength on the spearmen who live there right now. Our liege lord has passed a new law. Namely, he's allowed to steal my tiles if he wants to. How outrageous is that? May, welcome in. Good seeing you. Do you want to go to war faster? No. Yes, troops, else not you're thinking for it. Yeah, I think I want to go to war fast, but I don't need more troops right now. So I'm going to go economy and also go to war. And we'll see how that works out. Up to 85, 2.5 more months, and we'll be full up, and then we'll attack for sure. Hello, Swedish Pride. How dare I call Ireland Noob Island? I appreciate that you watched the VOD. I called it Noob Island in the context of a new player learning the game. That's how it goes. All right, our liege lord would like me to look after his daughter. Happy to do so. Happy to do so. His house weakens a little bit because he's sending his child away. That's fine. Speaking of children, I should look after my boy too. Good old Shervin Williams. Come on down. Let's take a look at you. Welcome, my son, to the world of... you're nothing so far. He's only 2, no personality, just rolls around on the floor. But yes, don't worry, Irish Pride. I do not think of today's Ireland as being Noob Island. It's just in the tutorial playthrough, which is the start of 1066. You begin as a very, very strong king. I'm in the wrong start, so you're not going to be able to see him, unfortunately. And I believe the tutorial will start with bonus money. Now, if you start at this time, at the 866, then the Vikings can attack you. It's very, very, very difficult to start by comparison. If we start 200 years in the future, things are significantly easier. Where do I live? I live over here. Very good. Hello, Ramrod. How you doing? Surety of supply. I pride myself on making sure everything is always accounted for, which includes making sure my soldiers are well provisioned. To this end, I should come up with a plan for ensuring my soldiers always have supplies they need in the field. How nice is this? How nice is this at the very start of the game? So we can get some merchants to help out. We have a 50% chance of things going well, or stockpile supplies in the stronghold. For that, I spend 50 money, which is so much right now. So luck be a lady. Which one do we get? Oh no! Oh no! Luck not being a lady for me. I contacted many available merchants to see who could best supply the armies what they need. One trader had good prices, so I made arrangements to get most of the provisions from him. When it was time to pick up the shipment, he and his goods were nowhere to be found. Someone arrest that knave. So for the next 5 years here, supply is down. Because we're not in deserts, because the winter is passing soon, this will not be a big problem, but it's a bit of a problem for sure. Hello, Ramrod. You ask, how's school going? This is how I know you've missed the start of stream for the past week. It has been a very, very, very rough week in teaching world. It's been very challenging. So thanks for asking. I'm going to ignore that now. I play the video games to have a good time, and right now a good time means let's not think about teaching. It's fine. You did nothing wrong in asking, of course. It was just one of these weeks for sure. We're going to go top speed for a moment, just to go ahead and buy this thing. I want to save up a little bit more money also ahead of the attack because... Oh no, is someone already marching in? Okay. This group is marching somewhere, the Kurdish Band of Lar, but it's okay. A brewing troublemaker. So our son has decided to become rowdy. Back in grad school, I had a professor whose name is Rowdy. Now, he's not really called Rowdy. It's what he wanted to be called. It was a nice name for sure. So our boy is engaged in pranking and such. He may end up becoming a true warrior like his father. So if all of our troops are raised, how negative on money are we going to go? We can count up here. It'll be it'll be 1.6 when raised, plus 0.54. So approximately 2, plus all the levies. And and I have no idea how much it's going to be when raised. Still missing one knight. Is there any person I can put forward as a knight? I will force you all into work if I have to. Oh, there's a guest here. 14's pretty strong, but 45 money is roughly, roughly brutal right now. Yeah, we got nobody else currently. What's your problem? Are you the wrong flavor of Islam? Indeed you are. Will you change to your King's Own version? Close enough. It is my Professor Rowdy Roddy Piper. How did you know? Like Brian May, he went forward and got a PhD after his time in the limelight. Tanaz has come forward, complaining about Hazar Sandan. He's bullying her. She started asking how to get someone hanged if she felt like they should be. So your will is the only law that matters. So she may end up possibly becoming a ruler someday. I know arbitrary is not a good thing to be. It'll ruin someone else's territory. Enjoy your arbitrariness. If Marshall's high, they can recruit knights that way. So as of right now, my Marshall's focused on, well, he should be focused on training commanders. Now, with that, one does not get knights. I know there's the button down here to recruit knights. But, where is it? But, we did Mountain Specialist. Maybe there's no, oh, here it is. The Invite Oseron. The only problem is they cost so much money. And that is going to be an issue right now. So someday we'll have that. Hunt nearby. Sheikh Mohammed wants us to come hunt. So yesterday we did this, and the hunt led to us somehow killing a bear. Now, unfortunately, the place the hunt has popular unrest. This will be fine. This will be fine. I have no money to spend. A Desert War is only 2 money, though. And that lowers us to only medium danger, so I'll accept that. And everything is good. On the road to go hunting. Great. My wife is now the regent. She is looking after the realm in my absence. We left our territory right there. And so, beloved... Where is she? Beloved regent, too many buttons. Bring me money. Thank you. Okay. Hello, Ame. You want to get into Paradox game and play some huge empire? You have conflicted info if they're hard or not to start with. For a new player, they're overwhelming, in my view. So once you know how to play a game, it is definitely worth... playing as huge empires to learn other elements of the game. Because huge empires tend to be relatively stable, at least through the lifetime of the ruler. But no, for a very first playthrough, I would encourage you to play the smallest possible territory, protected by someone larger than you. So it might be worth playing as a count inside of the Holy Roman Empire, and just like figuring out how things work while being protected by the HRE itself. That way outsiders won't attack you so much. But standard suggestion is play the tutorial first, learn how Ireland works, learn some very, very bad habits involving overspending, and then refine yourself by playing as a county. Now, there are other county starts up in Scandinavia that I think are super fun, notably this one, but it's not a bookmark start. It's a fun little start there because everyone's fairly weak up this way, and it's good. It's good stuff. Hello to you, RCB. You'd like a 30-second explanation of what's happening so you can follow along. We're just getting started. Yeah, just getting started. We are playing down in Persia land. We are these people right here, the Mazandaran. That's how it's pronounced, surely. We're part of a larger duchy. We're protected by them right now. The important thing on our character is that though he claims to be a Sharai, he's actually a secret Zoroastrian. And so I'm intending to build up a Zoroastrian empire in this area, and bringing back Persia is going to take some time to do that. This is the brand new DLC, and so it's the brand new conflict for Iran, the Iranian intermezzo. Same kind of mechanics as the struggle for Iberia, And there's a lot going on, but there's the basic story. Welcome, welcome. We await the arrival of the rest of the gang. Sheikh Mohammed begins some preparations. So it's being run by the younger missionary, Sheikh Mohammed, who is the brother of my liege. Will my liege be coming? Well, I'm way too fast. I didn't have an opportunity to declare my own goal here. So we're hanging out of a good time. He wants to hawk a bustard. Bustard a hawk. What I'd like to do most of all is to befriend my liege, so he does not turn his armies against me somehow by taking my territory. We'll see, we'll see, we'll see. We have a regent right now. We don't need that. Gilan is still at 600 troops. When we get back home, two things. I'm going to save all of the money we possibly can right now in preparation for attacking Gilan when we get home. Waiting for word from the scent hounds, the party rests in a shaded copse. Can never remember. Hassan stands not far off. This is my chance to impress him. Emir Hassan, how are you? It's not often we have a chance to talk. I open informally. He seemed surprised, but not hostile to the conversation. We could discuss many a thing here. We'll be aware that he is just and zealous and callous, cares most of all about martial, and he's somewhat interested in personal fighting. So, we could say nothing better than a good hunt. I pity the poor animals. I'd rather be doing something useful, or a well-managed forest spills forth with Allah's gifts. Because he's a true zealot and has some knowledge of the holy books, we're gonna say we believe in Allah. My words make no impact whatsoever. He loses interest and wanders off. Well, what a loser I am. Back to the wall we go. Maybe next time. I can never remember exactly how those choices relate to the person's abilities. So I believe it's the case that what we just said about it shows the order of Allah is actually the stewardship option, because the steward is the one who appreciates order. Great. Someday I'll remember how this works. This is Khalil. Khalil's a guest here. He's been the star of the hunt thus far, his falcon's talons forever dripping and red with fresh blood. So much so his glove seems to be stained a permanent crimson. I can't help but probe what he's done to train an obedient and masterful hunting bird, and he just laughs. I wish I could tell you it was my training, but speaking truthfully, my glove is blessed by Allah. I'd be willing to give it up for the right price. Alright, so his lucky falconry glove makes it, let's see here, from the top, makes it less likely that one will get stressed out, makes other people think you're attractive. Oh, the big part, gives 10% bonus to martial lifestyle. Our current king and probably the next king are be locked into martial lifestyle for the majority of their lives, so that is huge. That said, how expensive is the magic glove this early? 15 money. So we'd be going in debt for this thing. That would also undermine our attempt to go to war with the neighbors. We're pulling in 3 a month, so return to solvency in about 4 months. So being in debt early game is pretty bad, as you lose control in all of your realm, and in losing control you get lower taxes, and lower taxes mean it's harder to dig out of the hole. So unfortunately I'm going to say I can't, but thank you. Oh, it's a good item. It's a good item though. Feel bad on that one. Alright, Sheikh Mohammed's Grandmasters give the signal. We've arrived at the release spot. From this vantage point, we can see several speckled busters strutting about. That's right, this is strutting. The spiny scrub ahead. The party halts. We prepare to move the birds' hoods and set them one by one to their sport. You'll notice we have a 10% chance of pulling this one off. I look forward to the failure screen. My friends, though, it has been an hour since the last ad break. Let's go ahead and take our 3 minutes right now of ad break time. Other side of that, we'll see if we win or lose. Lose is the answer, just so you know. During the break, we'll go ahead and do a little bit of crossword puzzle. You'll be aware that yesterday we finished a puzzle. Can you believe it? And today, my friends, we start into a Monday puzzle. Welcome to Monday. I'll be absolutely delighted if we can get through even one answer correct on the first time through. Let's say, cool. I agree. I'm on board. I accept. The professor in the blank. We're gonna get one correct. We're gonna get one correct immediately. It's a Simon Winchester book about the making of the Oxford English Dictionary. If you've not read this one, strongly recommended. It's The Professor and the Madman, actually. Cool. Have a meal without cooking. So, cooking could refer, of course, to the activity of baking and such. It could also refer to, being in a very hot area, maybe having a picnic, possibly, without cooking. So some kind of meal preparation that is not using heat. So, got it. Eat raw, maybe. All right, event for a hopeless romantic. A Spanish test. A test in Spanish that you haven't studied for. Okay, hopeless romantic. Romanticism is also an art movement. It's also a poetry movement. Romantic, not sure. Collaborative drawing game invented by the surrealist. Okay, it's called something corpse. Can I remember what it's called? You draw something in which each person, it's extravagant. You draw a picture in which each artist or each player in the game adds one thing without being able to see the rest of it. Extravagant. Maybe it's not extravagant. It's something corpse, though. I just can't remember what it is. Blank double. Who knows? Burger, cheeseburger, double. Pool makeup. A pool is made up of bets. It's made of antes. It's made of water. A pool could also be a carpool, so drivers, etc. I'm not sure. Purge of. That's easy. Rid of, probably. Clerical worker. So clerical could be a priest, possibly, as well as an office helper. We'll see. Organization for the New York Red Bulls. Good. Mires are swamps or fens. Mires can also mean the verb meaning to be limited in some way. So I got lost in the quagmire, I got limited, etc. This Monday is going pretty well so far. Hopefully that continues. La Vecchia Signora. My apologies for my ongoing troubles with Italian, but thank you so much for the resubscription. CK3 hype. Nice. I'm very much enjoying that you're enjoying CK3. That's pretty good. An MLB team with a W insignia. So the Washington Senators, possibly. Because it's MLB, it could possibly be some reference, some shortened version of the team's name. So I'm going to put Sens in and feel very questionable about that. No longer green. So the word green means to be a novice, a neophyte, etc. So able, experienced, something like that, I'm not sure. Any minute now, soon. At least something we put in so far is wrong. We'll figure it out. I'm going to do 2 more, and then we'll see how it's going. A group that performs in theaters. Question mark. Theaters. Got it. War fronts are called battle theaters. I bet it's the USO, which is the group in the United States that puts on shows for soldiers overseas. Yes. Word that has diametrically opposed meanings. So the standard example here is inflammable, because inflammable both means able to be burned and unable to be burned. Would they give us that one? Nope. No, they would not. The word presently means both now and soon. We'll see if that's right. Who knows? Now and soon are not diametrically opposed. Now and never would be. Let's check this real quick. Plot points. Plot points. I'm not sure. We'll come back to that later. All right. Feeling very good for a Monday. Thank y'all for hanging out. I appreciate it. And look at that delightful little cartoon there. The man is speaking of his problems, and the bigger problem is the crossword. True. All right, let us see if we succeed in our hunting. Thank you for nicely done. We'll see. Feels good for a Monday. If we get done with this Monday early, we can go to last week's Monday and try to fix that one. So, it is time. Let us do some sporting. It's taking a while. Hey, while we were in the midst of producing some hunting, our sister-in-law produced a child. Her name is currently Noor. She will probably not be a queen, but Queen Noor, welcome, my dear. I will marry you away for an alliance very, very soon. I was wrong. Sheikh Mohammed watches excitedly as his falcon identifies the target and takes wing from its watch, soaring high into the air. The bustards are none the wiser, as my falcon scans the ground from high above. It swoops like a bolt of lightning. The quarry scrambles for cover, but it is too late. With a 10% chance, math is in our favor, we win. Cool. Heeding the call of the wild is an adventure, and it worked out very nicely. For coming along, we gained a decent amount of prestige. How impressive. We did not get, but someone else in the party got the bustard feather, but we became a little bit of a hunter. Nice. So we have 1 bonus prowess, personal combat. We lose stress more quickly, and other hunters like us fine. For having a terrible success chance, very pleased to see that. With that, we return to our seat of power, and our beloved wife gets out the way. Our beloved wife is currently what kind of person? She's situationally loyal. So at this point, I am wanting to take it back over. Ideally, I want this third fellow to be the regent or vizier, because he's at least loyal to me, as opposed to their own whims. 9% chance to hit and you miss, everyone goes crazy. You hit on a 10%, no one cares. I was delighted and over the top excited that we won. That said, it was kind of a minor thing. I didn't get much for it, but cool anyway. On our way through Dumba Wand, is that where Dumbledore gets his wands? We appear to have stumbled into a local food market. Everywhere, the peasants and nobles of every culture and tongue clamor about the exotic food stalls, air thick with fragrances I've never imagined. My nose is drawn to a lowly stall stacked with a dish I could only dream of. I've pulled out, though, by a man named Bakhter. Do not waste your palate on this slop, my lord. Sambusas are for peasants. We have finer food at home. As I could insist that I want my sambusa. We have a 10% chance of getting sickly. We might gain some stress, or possibly gain some stress in the future, or we get a little health bonus and even less stress gain. So because our father has already died, and I don't expect any more big hits to stress for a while, I'm okay with that stress gain. So we are 60-40 on good to bad. I believe in percentages. I no longer believe in percentages. We got a little unwell. That's fine. Next up, though, rocks! I hear Astley shout out in panic. Soon thereafter, I hear a loud cracking sound, like that of wood breaking or of my patience finally snapping. I step out of the gravel to see the splintered remains of a wagon wheel. My wagon wheel has been rocked. I'm sorry, my liege. It was my turn to look out. I fell asleep at the reins. Luckily, we're heading home, so the speed of our heading home does not matter. So, okay, curses will be late, or shuffle supplies will ride rough. No. Curses will be late. We stop and repair the wagon. There we go. Back on the road again. Just can't wait to be on the road again. We've stopped and seen our own personal mountain. We've also stopped and visited our own city. We've also gained traveler traits and 1 experience point for wandering and returning. The basic traveler trait will give us bonus to diplomacy, and then we have a whole bunch of work to do to wander, but we're just getting started. Cool. My caravan masters have been gone for 99 days. Regency ended, we return to power once more. So, unless Gilan has gotten more stronger, which they haven't, it is time for us to turn an attack. They have 90 money. At this point, what do mercenaries cost? The most expensive is 100, the cheapest is 111. So, time to go to Gilan, immediately call on our allies, and build ourselves ever bigger. I do want to fight in mountains. Oh, I think last time I claimed that maybe we don't actually need our allies. Oh, the only reason we do is because their fort has enough fort level, enough defenses that I can't break it myself. So what I did yesterday was capture the ruler 3 times in a row in order to bust down his money into my pocket. So this costs some prestige. We're going to be fine. So come along, beloved Ortrar. We could call our family member instead, but doing that costs our precious renown, and I don't want to waste that so early. So come forth, my friend. Assist me, won't you? And he surely will. Their troops are raised. Their troops are just sitting on the edge there. Here they come. So Ortrar's kind of far away. It's way up here. He's just standing there. I believe he's standing there because I've not raised my troops. And so his comment is, if you're not going to war, I'm not either. So here comes everybody. Good old everybody. We'll immediately march across and hopefully pick up a battle there. Currently, we are the leader of the army. I'm fine with that as we go to the grassy lands. Once we're in the mountains, though, I'll change over to my other character as the commander. Burning through money, half a gold every month, so we'll run out in a little bit over 5 months. That's fine. Absolutely fine. All right. Behold. Well, the mountain commander's pretty good. He's pretty good. So plus 19. And a plus 2. How good is their leader? Their leader is actually the count of this area. He's an 8, a 7 with no abilities at all. So I'm just going to use my king, as my king can't be a knight, but the mountain commander can be a knight. And fingers crossed, we managed to capture their leader immediately, and then ransom him once, and then capture him again and end the war. So our 2 men-at-arms here are both giving nice bonuses to the battle. Super ultra victory. Our allies keep on marching down. They are moving now. One of my people was maimed. Oh no! This is the part where I should probably hire a physician. With no money, though, I don't really want to do that. So who's around that could be a physician? Our wife is poor, but poor is better than non-existent. So, hello, wife. You do the caring work. Thank you. And then did we capture a leader? We did not do so. So I'm going to chase after the enemy, which is very unsporting work. But it's the way to go. And he's being brought into my territory, unfortunately, fortunately. And we'll see when he stops retreating. But I'm okay chasing the whole way. He returns up here, I believe. And so, oh, he's still running. Still running. We capture him here, though. And we should win pretty quickly, I think. Yeah, again, the bonus we have for using all sorts of men-at-arms of mountains is so good. Also, one of our people cut off the face of the Volley of Gilon here. He is permanently wearing the mask. Do we pick him up off the ground? We do not. However, we get someone named Musafir. Musafir is not a very good knight, but is surely better than nobody. So if he's willing to join me straight away, I'll be so glad to have him. He will. Welcome, welcome. Bring your family along too. Early game here, we're just delighted to have absolutely anybody hang out with us. Now, he's explicitly a Zoroastrian person. I do want those, but not for right now. So will you convert to my faith? He definitely will, and that's good stuff. I'm unsportsmanlike in war, cutting off someone's face. I mean, or do you mean chasing retreating armies? All pretty bad behavior. It's all pretty bad behavior for sure. All right, we've gotten ourselves a perk. We go Stalwart Leader. So we get bonus experience points, and we're less likely to be damaged in battle. We chase them back and forth, back and forth. They're no longer fleeing the battlefield, and so let's us attack once more. We are crossing a river here, but it's the case that, yeah, we'll be able to get up and into there with no special penalty. Good, good, good. Their commander is no longer their lord, so the lord has retreated into his castle. Having lost his face, he's also lost his mind. Oh, this poor guy. And his heir is but a child. Oh, man. Now, unfortunately, without being able to capture the ruler, the war's going to have to drag on a bit. And we're just waiting for our buddies to get here very soon. Another good victory. As always, this is very confusing. Very confusing to see who's retreating and who's not. Because at a quick glance, it looks like, oh no, I'm retreating. They're staying here. But it's exactly the opposite. Because we won big again. And so the siege begins. And with just this team, the siege will take about 19 months. They're going to keep attacking in over and over again. Does the ruler have any possibility of getting enough money for a mercenary stack? Eventually, possibly. But for right now, no. We'll see who else we capture here. Some possibilities of getting more and more soldiers. And there are the others. Here they come. We got one knight currently available to bring into the stack. Not super important. Another victory, more fame, more devotion. The history books record that over and over again did the men of the mountain find their way to the hill, saying, that mountain is mine and this shall be as well. Someday we'll have the mightiest of mountains all for ourselves. Alright, with the further stacking here, the AI actually doesn't want to stack in for fear of running out of food. So the AI will just stand there and help protect us, and we kind of just ignore this. Also, because some of our soldiers died, we're actually positive on cash again. Thank you for your deaths. You've given your best to the territory, and we appreciate it. Okay, we can kind of just ignore that right now. The only big fear is as we've become fairly weakened, losing about half of our troops overall, we are exposed to people on the east. Last playthrough, this fellow attacked us. He saved up a fair amount of money and then attacked with all the mercenaries and his allies and himself, and that was overwhelming. So let's keep an eye out to make sure it doesn't happen this time. But then, we're sitting at table, we are considering what to do. Two of my generals come forward, one of whom has really cool peacock feathers on his head. I want you to win for that alone. Luckily, I'm smart enough when it comes to military matters to use all of the better offense and defense and all the rest. I syncretize, I synthesize their ideas, and become the finest commander who ever lived. It is possible I'm getting too big for my britches, but that's okay. All right, as kind of expected, the ruler of this place died. So there's a boy ruler now. If I keep dealing with members of his family, eventually... so there's 3 people in the family right now. And then what happens? Yeah, so they're running out of family members. The just-ended family is only 4 people left in it. The house is unified. Oh, I wonder, if you have a house of only one character, is it immediately at 100% unity? Or can you have a single-person house that's pulling in all directions? I wonder. Still ignoring I believe I saw some of my knights were injured / killed. Right now, our worst knight is a 2. This is one of my only characters to use. In fact, many of my characters who are on the council are people who I do not want to die. So we're going to try to stay out of war for a little while and see if we can build up some knights who are a little bit less essential to the kingdom in its non-military mode. We'll see what happens. Our small hill fort, origin of money and power, etc., will be done in just a half year or so. That'll be good. Sieges continuing along. We'll just watch that. Nothing should happen, so I'm going to go very top game speed. And, yeah, no problems at all. The Boy King managed to raise a small army, but nicely dealt with. The final fight. There you go. There you go. We got 17 money. We also captured a child. Hello, child. That child's a leper. Stay away, unclean, unclean. His brother will free him. So pleased for that. Once freed, we end the war. There you go. And we can now say, that mountain is also mine. Hooray! All right. The 4th title we have here is a temple holding. I believe I can give my temples only to people of my religion. I do want to give it to Zoroastrians. Is that possible? No. I believe you can only give it to people of your faith, your explicit faith. So I'm going to give it to somebody who is of our culture in hopes they'll be largely cool with us once we become the other kind of people. Also, that temple now counts as an area to be taxed. Our tax income now is 0.09 and 0. That 0 will become, that 0 will become a little higher as time goes by. Do I speed up the game regularly? Is it uncommon? So I speed up the game regularly when I'm trying to do one specific thing, and I know that nothing else will change. I rarely go to higher speed in war because the enemy can think and move so quickly that I get lost and attacked from weird angles. Early game, I'm totally cool going faster because there's not much I can do. But later game, it's a little bit more challenging. All right, tell me the story of my liege. He has 2,000 strength. He also has early game siege weapons. Unfortunate. Who's his heir? His heir is just a chancellor. The Zadid family that he is part of has only 3 members. So after they all go away, it kicks into a different family, not into mine, unfortunately. So unlikely we'll ever get the territory via blood, unless. Would you accept a patrilineal marriage? They will not. They will not. How about if I tell you how holy I am? You still will not. We want the patrilineal marriage. Will that work? Or inside the family, rather. So male only in past suggestion means it's locked to the house. So the child of a woman who is of their family would not inherit under any circumstances, I believe. That won't help us too much right now, unless I want to stay at peace with him. But not right now. Not right now. Okay, our marshal died, unfortunately. And this fellow down here, a different flavor of culture. I had joined the army less than peaceably. So good old Pana up here. I was fired from the council. That's water on the bridge. Welcome back to the world of being on the council. For the next little bit, we're going to refill our troops. And then when that's done, I'm going to move our marshal to improve control in our new territory. Our new territory, which is hating me so much. That is how it goes, I suppose. Hey, Term 215. Term 215 or 215. Thanks for the follow. Hope you're having a good day here in CK3 land. That's where we live, apparently. Alright. This place has quarries. The mountains here have excellent supply of building material. Building that early lets everything else build faster there. which is super nice. Only problem with that is it doesn't give a ton of bonuses other than that, namely no troops. But like I said, I'm trying to focus right now on economy primarily. We'll stay with that for probably the next, I don't know, 10 or so years at least in the game, maybe even more. A term you're starting a new run, hey, best of luck. Is the new run going to be in Persia? Are you doing this kind of Iranian playthrough? Or are you going to start somewhere else? I know the common starts are Western Europe all the way, but I'd love to know what you're thinking of doing. Solitude in the Great Hall. My ward here, the Liege's daughter, is having a difficult time hiding under tables, not wanting to talk to folks. That's fine. You can be shy. You're not my problem. Enjoy. Thinking of good old Wales. Heck yes. I've actually never done a Wales playthrough, but Wrexham in the North. Wrexham in the North. I would encourage you to support them well, and maybe someday they'll grow up to be a special little place where Resorty's dreams come true. my dreams of once a week watching a football match and feeling very good about myself when they win. All right. I'm going to say we're full enough on troops right now to have the marshal move over and spread the law of the king. Oyez, oyez, here comes the man. It is true. My chancellor's currently focused on foreign affairs. We do want that because we have very few people who are vassals to us. I think we have 2 actually. Not more than that actually, I'm sorry. That said, they largely like me okay. I am not using my personal abilities at all right now to make friends with folks. So I'm going to start with the strongest one with his whole 20 troops. Just work on making them like me. Join my side. Oh, this is a button I've not seen before. So join my side could cause someone to give up their desire for the caliphate and join the destroy the caliphate side instead, which is what we want. His government type is Republican? Wait, why are you a republic? As opposed to being a clan? Oh, we're all clans here. Well. Oh, because he's running a city. We're fine. Sway to my side. Is there a reason not to increase crown authority? So if you mean in this playthrough, just because I have no county level people under me, so there's nothing I get as a bonus. If you mean for your playthroughs or in general, the number one reason is because your vassals dislike you more, and the crown authority carries over to your next ruler's life. So if you have a very stable and nice playthrough with a relatively young king, awesome. Go ahead, kick it up, get more taxes, get more laws, whatever. If, though, you have an unpopular king, or worse, a king that is soon going to become unpopular, the child of an unpopular ruler possibly, then you can't keep your current crown level. But sure, generally speaking, if you have the laws for it, kick it on up. The worst thing that happens is your vassals demand for you to lower it. But as you probably know, one of the big changes recently to Crusader Kings 3 is the game is meant to be somewhat harder in keeping all your vassals happy, which makes it a little bit harder to have the big empire stick together. So in a word, is there a reason not to raise it? Maybe. All right. Earlier, our buddy here earlier the buddy here came to help us in our war. Now he wants us to come help in his war. So it's a war, a holy war against the Emirate of Cha. Hello, Cha. Okay, so Bazir of Taraz. Sure. I will come this day. Show me the current outlook of the war. Oh, I'm seeing what's happened. I'm seeing what's happening here. Namely, my beloved ally has decided to jump in against a relatively weak person. Wow, you're a bully. I'm all about that. Where are we going? Oh boy, quite the adventure there. And what I see is that he is fairly weak without me coming. So I'm going to put pressure against the south of Cha here if I can. And that should draw his troops, let's say the enemy troops, down and away. Oh, except for Cha proper is not being attacked. One second. Who's the aggressor here? Yeah, we're definitely the aggressor here. Fine. So though it's called something about Cha, it's actually going for Sir Daria instead. Over hill, over dale. Hoping we don't get attacked while our entire army is gone. So we'll see what happens. We're hemorrhaging cash a bit. We could try to focus on a new faith for Persia. I don't want to do that, because again, Zoroastrianism will reign supreme someday. Past that, we still have no physician. Past that, how's our house unity? Impassive right now, which leads to succession where the majority of the titles go to the heir. And we only have the one heir right now, I believe. So at that level, we get more lifestyle experience. At the next level up, we get half of experience. But we can go free our family members from kidnapping, possibly. We can't invade anymore. We'll see. Look at this man's mustache. A Manichaean. We love Manichaeans. So Buddha, Zoroaster, and Jesus are all incomplete. Mani brings them together. There's a good and an evil. Jesus had two forms. Manichaeanism, heresy, go. What a great mustache, though. What an id-kit. We're going to head down Chivalric Dominance, getting a big Knight Effectiveness gain. We still have no accolades. Oh, speaking of which, someone didn't choose a focus for tribal innovation. The game says you want mustering grounds. I want Banis, actually. We learn how to make lovely little flags, because that will give me my first accolade. And having a strong knight early game, so cool. Interesting to see that our neighbor here, the person we're helping rather here, went left into this person's army, while his army is over to the right. So this was a really smart time to attack, because it's an interesting split between the two. We'll see. All right. How far away are we? Oh, slow moving. Slow moving. How's the control question going, I wonder? 5 years left to get Gilan to be totally happy. Also, I keep overshooting Persia and going down to the Mediterranean. How it goes. The faith here is Zoroastrian. Deciding when to reveal that we're Zoroastrians would be one of these big questions. Because the people who are Zoroastrian are all being ruled by people who are Islamic. And so the people might be with me, we're to get absolutely destroyed by the neighbors. We have to keep our secret for a long time. Alright, so my liege would like to order that my son is looked over by Zachariah. Zachariah is lustful and Persian. We're also Persian, correct? No, we're Dalamite. So how do Dalamite and Persian get distinguished? They're both Iranian, aren't they? Yeah, they're both Iranian. I'm gonna say no. My son stays here. Thanks so much. You believe Augustine was Manichaean in his youth? Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, if you ever read the Confessions, obviously Augustine was brilliant. He was also so very human. And that's the thing I absolutely love about Augustine's work. Though I'm not religious in any meaningful sense, Augustine is quite honest about the human experience and how all he wants is to be a good and holy person, but not yet. If that line is not the human condition, I'm not quite sure what is. I see we're roughly running out of food, or we just began to run out of food. It's a mild winter, so it's going to drop back and try to fill food in the Allied territory, but for right now we don't need to do that. We can just push on and help out at Uzgand. Sure do wish we had a little bit more money. Sure do wish we were at the part of the game where the money comes running in from all sides. We can move our wife over to stewardship. We're not really losing much. Yeah, I think +1 from everything. So if we get one more stewardship, does that raise our taxes by a tiny bit? I think it does. So +4 all the way to +4. So it's possible that Beloved's 2 points in stewardship gives me absolutely nothing. Is that true? Beloved? Yeah, absolutely nothing. Alright, useless queen. Back to assist. Tanaz is on the border between childhood and adulthood. Should I tell her the dirty secrets of Zoroastrianism? Of course I should. 50% chance of her joining us, 15% chance she tells everyone of my truth. She reveals my secret. Oh no! You can't be trusted. So everyone now knows that we're Zoroastrian, correct? Practices in secret. Okay. Why would I do that? Because I trusted her. Because I want to have more Zoroastrians down here. So. There's nothing here that says he knows. That surprises me slightly. Siege is going great. We're plus 95%. So once we finish the siege, the war should end presently. At the last moment here, the High Chief returns his troops to home. And I'd like to fight them to capture someone for cash money. But winning this area will give us 3 whole monies. Yeah, I mean, she may have only told local people about my secret. And they say, he's a little bit of a weirdo, don't you worry anyway. Fine enough. Despite the event outcome, it didn't say it would actually make it public. I thought it did. I thought at the bottom it said, we'll reveal your secret. And then it popped up with, she revealed your secret. Maybe she just like revealed it to herself. I have no idea. Maybe it was a possibility of revealing it as opposed to it necessarily happen. Hooray! Victory! So at 100% war score now. We could help here. I kind of want to go home though. And we'll watch him end it soon. There we go. Victory to us. For sure. We won the war together. Because of that, where are allies here? Where are the allies? Allies shared 200 prestige. Hooray! We're important. So be it. Well done. Go home once more. And pause one cash once more. Fantastic. Someday we're going to try to build up our men-at-arms groups. Today is not that day, though. So we're going to continue just focusing on building up the forces. I'm going to go game speed 4, because there's really not much for me to do. Any move I make right now that's aggressive would just be kind of stupid. Eventually we will become Duke of this territory. But past that, not quite sure the goal. Invitation to a grand tournament. Where is the grand tournament being held? Oh, this is hosted. I apologize. It says if I want my own grand tournament. For right now, I need the money for other purposes. For sure. Over here in Gilan. 100 money for that bonus taxes there. We only have the 2-minute arms group, so we do not need to strengthen men-at-arms here. Might be worth strengthening Amul here. Whatever gives bonuses to spearmen. Spearmen indeed. And that is the barracks, which gives no money, unfortunately.